In the miniatures hobby, we all have bad habits that we're not so proud of. Whether that's not cleaning up mould lines, or maybe posting that photo of that bottle of Null Oil that you've just spilt. We've all got bad habits and we're not proud of them. My bad habit? I keep starting new projects. We'll have a chat after this. Pickle jar, miniatures, excellent! Hi guys, my name's Josh and welcome to the Pickle Jar. Now today's video is one that I've wanted to do for quite a while, but ironically I haven't been able to find the time to get round to doing it. After working on a few things recently though, I've decided that it's finally time to sort of get this out there, so here it is. Now in the miniatures hobby there are options for absolutely everything. No matter what genre you're looking for, what material, what scale, what size, it's all out there and there's going to be a model that will suit your needs if you look hard enough. With this in mind, that also means that there is constant temptation to pick up new miniatures, regardless of what it is you're working on at the moment. Now, if you're ridiculously strong-willed, spoiler alert, I'm not, then you can either ignore these urges and carry on with your current project, or you might even buy something new and set it aside, ready to be your next project. Now, it's this second outcome that most people will identify with, except that in practice, we don't do this. What we actually do is we'll buy the next project, and then the project after that, and then the project after that, and then that one miniature that you like the look of and want to paint, but you don't really need it for a game, so it's not really going to get worked on anytime soon. And then there's that one limited edition thing that you really need to get because you like the look of it, but again, you're never going to get around to painting it. What this ends up doing is creating an ever-growing pile of plastic, metal and resin that only gets more daunting to look at with time, because we never stop buying stuff. Now for limited edition stuff, I get it. If you don't get it there and then, you might never get it, at least not without spending a fortune paying scalpers on eBay. But if we're honest, most of us have boxes of stuff from places like Games Workshop, for armies that we've never started, projects half done, and games that we never really got into. I know I do. Now the other thing that can happen is you'll get your new shiny project and start working on it straight away and put whatever you're working on to one side to come back to it later. Except that we don't. They end up sitting on a shelf or in a cupboard somewhere or in a box just sort of half painted, never truly being finished and never going back to being worked on. This is a bad idea for a few reasons. The first is that the longer you leave a project half finished, the less likely you are to go back and finish it. As you paint more, your techniques and styles can change, your abilities get better, and knowing that you've got to try and emulate a style you started months ago can often set alarm bells ringing. Another reason why it's a bad idea to leave a project half finished is because you don't get any sense of accomplishment from it. If you think you put 5 hours into painting something that would take about 10 hours to finish, and then you put it to one side to start something else, that's essentially 5 hours worth of painting wasted. You don't have a finished project at the end to be proud of to show off. You don't get that rush that you get when you're applying that last bit of paint to the base rim. That feeling of completion, that feeling is very important, especially right now. I'm especially guilty of this though. I'm not saying that I used to finish loads and loads of projects and go from one to the other after finishing each one, but I certainly used to finish a lot more than I finish now. Doing YouTube means I'm more often than not working on something new every week, and I don't always have time to finish the previous thing off. For the longest time I've had a shelf of half-finished projects sat behind me. Most of these are things that I've either started for videos or that I've started on a live stream and just never got around to finishing. Now that's my reason for not getting to finish projects, but what about the people that don't do YouTube? Well, from my own experience, it comes down to something that I kind of touched on a few weeks ago in another video. We're scared to finish projects. While a model is in the work in progress phase, it can be improved on, worked on more and generally perfected. But once it's done, it's done. Again, you can always go back and add bits. No one's going to come round to your house and burst through your door and stop you. But most of us like to finish a project and then leave it at that. That way, when you look back, we can see the improvement in our painting. Plus, if we're always going back to models to improve them and add bits on, nothing will ever truly be finished. In a time when it's easy to get bogged down in the gloom of what's happening in the larger world, we need little wins, little victories to give us a boost. I know it sounds daft, but finishing a project, seeing it through to completion and then getting to show that off online, or just mark that up as another job finished for your painting catalogue, well, that really does help. Finishing projects can help stave off getting burnt out on painting, as you're seeing constant progress that is palpable, that you can look and say, I have finished these. It also helps to clear away some of that ever-growing pile of shame. And perhaps most importantly, it helps us feel a little bit better. The model that I've been painting today is one of the Rockabone Knights from Lion Tower Miniatures. I started it on a live stream and then it went on my shelf, and it would have stayed there for a few weeks if I'd not forced myself to crack on and get it finished. Now I'm really happy that I pushed through that weird mental block, and I'm happy with the end result. If you'd like to check out more from Lion Tower, there'll be a link down below in the description to their site. Now the reason that I've wanted to do this video for a while is that since starting YouTube, I've found myself flitting in and out from between projects a lot more than I used to do. I guess it's just part and parcel of making content that I will be working on a lot of different things, but it was starting to get me down a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I love creating content here, but it does take up a lot of time, which leaves me with less time to get my personal projects finished. I know a lot of other people struggle with this and struggle to sort of get things finished and get motivated to carry on painting, so I wanted to try and help a little bit. I'm not offering out a secret magic easy fix. There isn't an easy fix on how to sort of get past this weird mental block that we sometimes have with finishing projects, but sometimes it just helps to hear someone sort of verbalizing the thought process and talking about the issue to make you think about it from a different perspective. I hope you've enjoyed the video today and found it helpful. If you have and you want to see more from me, I live stream here on YouTube every Wednesday evening at 8 PM, and if you want to get involved with our community, we have a link down in the description to our Discord. If you'd like to help support the channel, there are links to our affiliates down below in the description, and there's also a link down there for our official channel sponsor, Broken Turd. That's all from me, and I'll see you next week with another video.